Hello everybody, and welcome to a Core Set 2021 draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section down below with any questions or feedback. You can catch me streaming live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. Okie doke. So we have started things off by opening quite a good rare, Stormwing Eternal. I have had the pleasure of playing with this card one time before, and when you cast a instant, you can pretty much just cast this for 2 mana, instant or sorcery. So if you have things like Crash Through, things like Opt is a great combo that's also in the same color, and that's a really nice color. That's a really nice combination within blue. If you go into red, you can use Crash Through. If you're in green, doesn't have anything as good. Ranger's Guile is, I guess, one you could use, but you don't really want to use that proactively. You can use things like Swift Response in white. In red, there's also just Shock, things like that. So cheap spells plus Stormwing Entity is a winning combination. Blue-red spells is a great color combination in this set. So we're going to start off with Stormwing Entity. If this wasn't in the pack, I might try experimenting with Tide Skimmer. It seems like a pretty nice payoff for a Flyers deck, but I think that the card, if I would take, given my current knowledge of the format, is Llanowar Visionary. This card has been very impressive for me and against me. Just a nice 2-for-1 here, and gives you a nice body and ramps you. So I think those are my 3 cards I like in this pack. Moving on to pack 2, we see some top commons in this pack. There is a Hunter's Edge, which is a great green card at common. There is a Swift Response, which is a very good white common, especially if you're going for like a Flyers deck where Stormwing Entity would also fit in and have a nice home. There is Sky Scanner, which is just a nice colorless card that's going to fit into any deck. And then in the uncommon spot, there is Warden of the Woods, which is just a nice 6-drop that plays offense and defense quite admirably. Yeah. I'm not sure which card I want to take here. I don't have very much experience with this card, but it has looked pretty solid. I don't know how much better it is than just a Colossal Dreadmaw, though, just as a big creature. So I might not want to take that. I might want to rather have some interaction in green, or I could take Swift Response and try to build towards a Flyers deck, or I could even just take Sky Scanner and leave myself very open. But I think that Sky Scanner is worse than Hunter's Edge and Swift Response in just a power level consideration. I think we'll take the Hunter's Edge. I think it's going to be pretty good and leaves me open to some nice green-blue stuff. Okay, now this is another interesting pick because it looks like Sanctum of Calm Waters is a really nice card for a green-blue deck because you can draw 2 cards and discard only 1 card. But it is inherently very risky because if you don't get a second Sanctum, you don't really just want to be playing a 4-mana loot every turn type card. So I think Hunter's Edge is a more reliable pick. There's also a Frantic Inventory, which is another good spell to enable Stormwing Entity, especially if we can get some multiples. I don't think I'd play it without having at least 2 or 3. There's a Snare Spinner if I needed more 2-drops. I think it's between Hunter's Edge and Sanctum here, but I don't think I'm going to speculate on the Sanctum over a card as good as Hunter's Edge. And I could still abandon blue and just play like red-green or something. There's a Basri's Acolyte, which is another fantastic card. If I'd taken Swift Response, I'd be taking the Basri's Acolyte here. We're going to take the Hunter's Edge. And now there's another Hunter's Edge. There's also a Capture Sphere, but we're just going to keep taking Hunter's Edge while we're getting it presented to us and try to draft a nice green deck here. Looks like green is fairly open. There's also Fabled Passage is a good land, Sky Scanner, but we're just going to keep taking those Hunter's Edges. And now we can move into really any color combination with all of our great Hunter's Edges. So we could just take a Havoc Jester here. That's a bummer, Karamajum. But yeah, I like Havoc Jester. It's just a big creature. Red-green seems solid. There is a Anointed Chorister, but that doesn't work super well in a Hunter's Edge deck. This is a test and training just to stick to green, but I'd rather branch off into a different color because for just a big creature, because this is a great one. Works well with Hobble Fiends if we get any of those. So let's just take the Havoc Jester. And now there is an Angelic Ascension, which can be solid. Carrion Grub can be pretty good. Capture Sphere is all right. We do have a lot of 4-mana interaction already, though. Village Rites can be okay. I think Carrion Grub is pretty solid. Especially because we might have some big creatures. Capture Sphere is also pretty good. I think we'll just take the Carrion Grub and leave ourselves open to being a black-green deck. I think we're definitely green, and now we can be green-blue, green-red, or green-black. We haven't seen a ton of great blue cards other than opening a good blue card, so that's why I'm not as inclined to be green-blue right now. But Capture's Fury is a solid blue card, relatively late, but I think I'd rather just take the Carry-On Grub here and speculate on a black-green deck. And now Drowsing Pteranodon is the perfect card to go with all these Hunter's Edges. Really nice pickup there. After that, I would probably take the Blood Glutton or maybe just Ranger's Guile, though I don't love Ranger's Guile. Pteranodon by a mile there, though. And now another Pteranodon. There is a Deathbloom Thallid, which is a good black common, but again, we don't want to commit to black. We'll just keep taking the green cards, leave ourselves open. One thing I really like about this strategy is we have so many just good green cards and so many like small pulls into other colors that if we open a great rare in our second pack, we can just kind of commit to that. Okey-doke. And now we'll take Rise again, I think, over, because we do have a Carry-On Grub to help enable our stuff. And we could end up with some of the 4-mana 3/4 that discards creatures. And this card just has the highest upside. I'm not really going to miss out on a Makeshift Battalion or a Wishcoin Crab. And it's not best of 3, so I don't need to pick up a sideboard card. And now there is a Gnarled Sage. Pretty solid card with Hunter's Edge. I would love a Cetizen Training now to go with the Drowsing Pteranodon. But I think we'll just keep taking green cards. Epitaph Golem, not really what we're looking for. Spined Megalodon, not really what we're looking for. Neither is Valorous Steed. And we get a nice green-blue land here. I think we'll take that over the Prismite. Just got to keep our colors open. We could be a green-blue deck still. And now I think we'll take... I don't love Garruk's Greathorn. It does hit really hard with Hunter's Edge. Maybe we do just take that over Prismite. I think Prismite's pretty poor. We'll take a Makeshift Battalion. I don't like the Infernal Scarring. Star Wars. So we have a lot of options here. Green is looking open. And let's see what we get in pack 2. Okay, so for our green deck, if we were just going to be taking green cards, I think Fungal Rebirth is probably better than Track Down. But Reign of Revelation is fantastic and works really well in a green-blue card draw deck. So I think this is probably going to be my pick out of this pack. Other good cards are the Fungal Rebirth. Track Down solid, but it might wheel even. Chandra's Magma has been pretty impressive for me. 9 Lives is one I want to try out because it looks like it could be pretty good. But I think we're just going to take Reign of Revelation here. We could still be just a green something else deck, but because our 2 blue cards are cards that we opened, and blue didn't look insanely open pack 1. Like, sure, we saw a couple Capture Spheres, but I don't even think that's a top blue common, really. It's like 4th or 5th, maybe, not top 3. Reign of Revelation is really good, though. And now there is a Waker of Waves, which I love. We're also getting past a Basri's Lieutenant, which could mean great things for white in this pack, because this card is just fantastic. Like, this card is 4 mana, 4/5 Vigilance that then puts counters onto a creature, and then when the creatures die, it gets bigger, so that's a great one. We could also just take Waker of Waves as another top-end card for our a blue-green deck. We did not see any white. Maybe the person passing to us is white-blue. That doesn't make perfect sense, but it makes a little bit of sense. Fierce Empath is also okay with Waker of Waves. Sky Scanner's fine. I think Waker's but good. Basri's is fine. Let's take Basri's and maybe try to play green-white. And now there's a Gale Swooper. There's a Gnarled Sage that might wheel. Black removal spells. Heroic Intervention's okay. I'm going to try this card. It can really blow out removal spells, and it can also win you some nice combats. So we're just going to take that instead of committing to another card in another color. We're just going to keep taking green cards while we can. And Runed Halo's solid. I think Sabertooth Mauler's pretty solid. Seasoned Hallowblade is nice as a 2-drop. Also works really well with Hunter's Edge, so I think we'll just take the Seasoned Hallowblade over the Sabertooth Mauler and the Dilophosaur. Yeah, it's so much value at 4 mana. But yeah, I like the Seasoned Hallowblade here over Runed Halo. We're not a Flyers deck or a super controlling deck, so I like just getting a Seasoned Hallowblade here. And now there's a Cultivate, which is a really good card if we wanted to splash stuff, but I think we'll just take the Llanowar Visionary. Really nice card for any green deck. Helps ramp us up. And overall, our deck is looking pretty good right now. We could still splash blue for this Reign of Revelation if we really wanted to. Obsessive Stitcher is great. Cultivate is pretty good as well. It just gets us up to our big mana plays, but we don't have a ton of those, and I'd rather just get a Llanowar Visionary. Impact the board. Ooh, another Llanowar Visionary. Fantastic. There is a Hellkite Punisher, but we really did not see a ton of red. So I don't think red's super open. We're just going to keep taking these visionaries while we can. And now another drowsing Pteranodon. Absolutely fantastic. The more the merrier when it comes to Pteranodons. Non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast. Exile it. No, thank you. It's fine as a 2-drop, but we're not going to really need that. Titanic Growth is okay. I like Daybreak Charger because it works really well with the Pteranodons. I don't mind the Anointed Chorister. I think it might be better than the Daybreak Charger in a vacuum. But with 3 Pteranodons, just being able to enable those is super important. So we'll get this. Okay, and then we'll take a track down, I think. Pretty okay card, but not what I'm looking to play in my green-white aggressive deck. Ranger's Guile is solid, though. We could just speculate on a Sanctum, but we don't have any right now, so I think we're just going to take the Ranger's Guile here. Late Gourmand. This card is great. I don't know why this is still in the pack. We haven't really been seeing a ton of black cards, so I don't know why that's still there. I think my decision to commit into white-green worked out pretty well. Again, we did get a Seasoned Hollowblade and another 2-drop. Dilophosaur is pretty solid, because we are going to want to have 4 powered creatures in this deck. Dub, kind of cute with Pteranodon, but probably not going to play that. We'll have to see, though. Maybe we'll experiment. Pteranodon into Dub is pretty scary. And what have we opened? Well, this is kind of crazy. We opened up a great green card for if we have some card draw. Do we have any card draw right now? Oh yeah, we have 2 Llanowar Visionaries. This card's already great in our deck. So yeah, we're just going to take the Joel Rail Mon Vuli. Fantastic card. Burlfist Oak's pretty good as well. Unfortunately, it's not looking like we're splashing blue, but if we get a Cultivate in this pack, we could still splash Rain of Evolution. We can also play Track Down now that we have the Joel Rail, because getting a 2/2 out of our Track Down is quite nice. This is obviously at its best in a blue-green deck, but still a great card, I think. Pivot back to Simic. Oh, well, not anymore. Now that we have Glorious Anthem, we do not want to do that. Glorious Anthem is absolutely fantastic. It works beautifully with Drowsing Pteranodon. Another Llanowar Visionary is great, but we just have to take the Glorious Anthem here. And this is a great sign because there's no white card you would take over Glorious Anthem, like ever. How many creatures do we have? 12 creatures. Like, a Llanowar Visionary is great, and it works well with the Joel Rail Mon Volu, but we have a few good white cards here, and we're just going to take the Glorious Anthem because it's a fantastic limited card. It's like B+ level card. And now there's a Gale Swooper. Nice to give some stuff flying. Watchdog is a okay 2-drop, but we already have our 2-drops covered. And I like getting a flyer. Brian Wingmare is solid. I just like getting the Visionary, though. We don't really have stuff to spend our mana on, which is a bit of a bummer. But this card is just so powerful. It's a nice 2-for-1. Works really well with the Joel Rail. And just getting buffed by Glorious Anthem. Just a great card overall. I think Colossal Dreadmaw would be good in this deck, but we're just going to keep taking Visionaries. We'll take every Visionary we can get. Now this is close, because I do like Selfless Savior. I like Anointed Chorister, but I think Daybreak Charger is just better, given that I have these Pteranodons that I want to enable. Wow, Basri's Lieutenant really looks good with these Hunter's Edges and stuff. Chorister is also okay, but I don't really have any life gain payoffs, whereas I do have a lot of things to care about getting my creatures up to high power. So I think Daybreak Charger is just going to be best. And now we'll take a Vrian Wingmare. Non-creature spells, we have like Hunter's Edge is our only non-creature spell and Glorious Anthem, so we have a pretty easy deck for this card, and it could host the opponents. Invigorating Surge definitely seems like it could have a home in this deck. I do like Valorous Steed a lot too. How many counter synergies do we have? We don't have anything that doubles counters like that random 2-drop, but we do have a few cards that put counters onto stuff. I could see this. This is a really close pick. I think I'm just going to take Invigorating Surge. over Valorous Seed. I do want to have like a 1 combat trick or so in this type of deck. And now we get a Drowsing Tyrannodon. Pretty nice. I wouldn't mind a Defiant Strike. Does work well with the Joel Rail, but just going to keep getting these premium 2-drops. Legion's Judgment could be okay. Valorous G, definitely a card I'll play, I think. Late Alpine Watchdog. We'll just take Short Sword. I actually like Short Sword. Ooh, Colossal Dreadmaw came back. That's huge. Definitely want that with 3 Llanowar Visionaries. Ramp it out. I think Short Sword's actually good in this deck. I have quite a few creatures, and it works really well with Drowsing Tyrannodon. So that's pretty much my logic behind that one. But maybe I don't need that because I do have like a bunch of stuff already, and I do want to have as many creatures as I can. Rambunctious Mutt or Selfless Savior. Let's take the Savior. Savior's just a good card. Mutt is okay. I think I like Savior better though. Okay, let's see what we want to cut here. We have a lot of playables. So we have 17 lands here. I think we can initially cut Ranger's Guile. I think Invigorating Surge is a better combat trick. We can probably cut the Short Sword. I like Heroic Intervention and Invigorating Surge as combat tricks, and so we don't need that one. I like how Seasoned Hallowblade and the Joel Rail both incentivize me to hold lands. Yeah, it is definitely weaker than it normally would be. There's like, I counted like 7 commons and uncommons that it would kill that would normally see play. I think Gnarled Sage is consideration for cutting. We have a decent amount of card draw, and it's a big creature for Hunter's Edge though, so I think we'll keep it. I like the Dilophosaur with Hunter's Edge. Makeshift Battalion can get cut for sure. How many creatures do we have? We want to have as many creatures as possible. We can still afford to cut a few though. I like this because it works with the Joel Rail. How many ways do we have to draw 2 cards? Not many. No, we have 3 Llanowar Visionaries, my bad, yeah. Definitely still just a good card with the Llanowar Visionaries. Daybreak Charger does work well with the Tyrannodon, so I like those. I could see cutting Selfless Savior. It doesn't let us get our Tyrannodons attacking, so I think it's worse than Charger, even though normally it would be better. And I think we can cut Vrine Wingmare. We're not really a Flyers deck. And it does hose our Hunter's Edges. I like Valorous Steed, it's just a big creature. I could see cutting Invigorating Surge. Can I cut a land? I have 3 Visionaries. I don't love cutting lands in general, especially when I have things that I can do with my mana, like I can use this, I can use this. I have a 6-drop. I do have a relatively cheap deck, but I also want to be able to cast all my cards, and I have like early 2-drops in both colors. Short Sword's pretty solid. How many creatures do I have? I have 17. This is tricky. Tricky last cut here. I like Valorous Steed with Glorious Anthem and with my Hunter's Edges. I think it might be Invigorating Surge as the cut. So that card has performed pretty well for me. Has been a tad bit awkward. Most of the time it's just going to be put 2 counters on a creature, which probably isn't as good in this environment, so I'm just going to cut that. And this is going to be the initial deck. I could see adding Short Sword. It's just a good combo with a lot of my cards. Dilophosaur is so good with Hunter's Edge that I'm going to keep it around. Just kills anything. It's also just a big attacker a lot of the time. But But yeah, that's going to do it for our initial build of the deck. I think it's pretty sweet, and I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, especially those who support at the credits level. I really do appreciate all of your support. If you would like to give back to my channel, help me continue producing high quality content, and unlock some pretty cool rewards in the process, be sure to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. But without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. We have a great hand here. Turn 2 Hallowblade. We have Hunter's Edge with it. If they try to kill this, we'll definitely keep it around because it is a nice combo with our Hunter's Edges. So I could play this, or I could play Daybreak Charger and get an attack in. And then I could play Hunter's Edge next turn and get another attack in. I think I like this play better. So I could play 2 Tyrannodons here, or I could kill this thing and hit them. I like adding a bunch of power to the board. Well, that's a bummer. I don't know how I'm beating that card. So they block here. They block here. This guy's gonna just suicide for the cause. Real bummer here. This card is so unbeatable for ground decks. We're gonna try and get him in range so if we draw Gale Super we can win. One more counter to put a... We're going to attack like this. Then this can put a counter on itself and we'll have 3 lethal threats. We're going to play the land, because now if we draw Colossal Dreadmaw, we can play it. We're almost dead here. This thing can almost kill us on the spot. block, fight. I'm so glad they did that instead of fighting with this. Because if they'd fought with this, I was just dead, I think. Actually, no, they would have died before the damage trigger would resolve. Okay. So we could still have this one if they didn't draw another. Are you kidding me? I need to hunt the hunter's mark again. They top decked another gosh darn creature. Oh, that's such a... Yeah, we lose. They block. They block. There, they block there. They do 3 to me here. This thing does 4. And then they just fight. Our only out is to draw Gale Swooper now. Whereas before, we were in okay shape. If they hadn't played literally 2 creatures, we would have been fine. Yup, yup. If they attack with this thing, I can't win now. It all came down to that one turn where, oh, they gave us a chance. We can draw Gale Swooper still. Nope. Okay. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. Ugh. That was just, like, very unlucky. They had to draw 2 creatures to stabilize on this board, and they got there, which is just irritating. Yep. It's, it was just like, they had 1 draw step to draw, like, a 2-drop, assuming they had Pitchburn Devils, which they would have played the other guy on previous turns, I think, if they had it. So they had to draw, like, exactly Snare Spinner or something, so it happens. I guess Snare Spinner meant that even a Gale Swooper didn't win us the game. Yeah. Crushed us. Welcome to another round. We have got a keeper on our hands. On the draw, we're going to be more defensive. Tyrannodon should do work. It's going alright, Behemoth. We lost a close one just then. Opponent top decked the perfect card to... they top deck a 2-drop. They needed any 2-drop to stabilize there. Yep, Trample would have helped. I don't really have any Trample in my deck, though. I'm actually pretty happy with how I played that last game. Got all my threats into play, and then almost got there. Hello, Hanyariel. Did our opponent not show up? Is this a classic free win situation? Wow, they're roping on their first turn. Oh, never mind. I wish we had a Cetessan training in this deck. I think I took something over the Cetessan training I saw. Grasp. That's okay for me. This guy wasn't attacking anyway, for a little bit. Hey, I have this card too. I'm just gonna play this right now. I think this card's good enough to put to the top, especially because it's better than a random land. Nice, Uriel. I have this card in my deck. It's really good. Hey! Let's do this now. Don't kill my Joel Rail. No. Well, that was actually really good. What the heck? They used their best removal spell on Joel Rail. Now my Colossal Dreadmaw can be living unopposed. We're going to attack. This has vigilance. What the heck was that, Nikolai? Jeez. Oops. Whoopsie-daisies. Opponent's currently searching up every card from the entire set. For some reason I thought this was tapped. Whoops. They're thinking of any card I could have for 1 green mana that would make me make this attack. Whoops, daisies. Well, it'll probably make a difference in this game that I suicided my 3/3. That was bad. No question about that. Not a good attack, shall we say. I don't know why I thought this guy was tapped. Oh, so if I had a 1/1, I would have a triple block right now. Oh my gosh. I'm ashamed. I totally would have triple blocked it too. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Nice. There's some mistakes I make on Arena that I never make in paper, and just like forgetting what's on the board is definitely one of them. Oh, I was never winning this game. Okay, I feel a lot less bad about my decision making here. Oh my gosh. Yikers. I'll see you folks in the next round. Another round, another sketchy keep. Pretty good hand if we draw planes. We're pretty likely to draw planes. We don't have the best Drowsing Tyrannodon deck, I will say. That sounds really good, Cap Forever. I think I should be playing Short Sword. I think it'd be good in my deck. Can I say that this is not ideal? It feels like some BS here. Just getting wrecked. But this is a sick combo. Oh, gosh. What am I supposed to do? Thank you so much, Cap Forever. I appreciate that. Don't want that. Don't really want this land either. Don't love Gnarled Sage. I appreciate the subscription. Oh, the indestructible Voltron. Indeed. Do we want this guy? Probably not. Let's just take a land. We'll chump here, maybe. No blocks. Holy smokes. We'll just chump later. Why chump now when you can chump later? Whoa, they played their land. Nice. So what our plan is right now is to have them discard all their cards, and then we can kill their Seasoned Hallowblade. And our board is massive. We're gonna try and use our Hunter's Edge with on one of these guys to kill this, to target this guy, and then when this thing dies, we'll get another 2/2. We'll do that. So now they have to discard. Vigilance, let's go. So now we can double block this thing. And now if we draw another Hunter's Edge, we can kill it. Because they'll have to discard to survive. So we've been gambling on this moment, chat. Can you imagine if we actually got there? How cool it would be? Yeah. Attack with everything, buddy. You know you want to. Okay, so I can make them discard a card. They're gonna spend all their mana on this thing. I'd love to kill this. This seems much better. So I would kill this then, I wouldn't kill that. This thing's only a lethal threat if they spend all their mana on it. So they gain 4 life. They go to 16. I have 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage. Oh no, we're so close. Maybe I was supposed to kill the chorister. Imagine if we drew another Hunter's Edge. Gosh darn it, why? Why? Just give me a break. So then these would trade, that seems bad for me. Oh gosh. Why? We're so... Oh, I try so hard. I do all this stuff. I think cutting a land is not the problem. You can flood out with any amount of lands pretty much. Ugh. Ah! Yeah, the pain. They drew 7 lands this game, or maybe they have lands here, but dang it. That was a nightmare. The fact that we were so close to winning when they had an indestructible 6/4 like first striker was actually kind of nutty. But that was a disaster. Oh my gosh. If you're watching this on YouTube and you made it all the way to the end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave a hashtag disaster to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. I don't even think this deck was bad. It just, like, got wrecked by random stuff. We lost to the indestructible creature. We lost to another indestructible creature. And round 2, what did we lose to? We lost to something like... Oh yeah, we lost to that, like, random... Glorious Anthem into Basri's Lieutenant into all the removal in the world / me throwing away my 3/3. So I don't know, I'm not really disappointed about that one. That was just kind of a disaster all around, but I will hope you did enjoy it. Maybe you learned something about the deck or the format, and yeah, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section down below, check out the Discord server. It's in the pinned comment and in the description below. There's a link to join for free. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you folks next time.